comments? It's the Monday post-lunch lull.
Hey, Donna, this is Donna, just so you know we're listening. Great presentation. I don't have any questions. I've been on the planning committee with Rick, so someone was familiar with me. There's one reason I don't have any questions. Another, I think I'm just too confused to know what questions to ask still. I feel like I kind of cheated because I'm not an evaluator, but this was still helpful going into the exercise. So thanks a lot for taking the time to do it.
Good to hear your voice. Thanks for being on. For Tom or Charles, any comments from you guys?
Yeah, John or Tom. Where did you choose your evaluators from? What was the pool of bodies that you selected from?
Great question. We tried to look heavily into our capability work groups, in particular the training and exercise capability work group. We thought it would lend itself to like a natural tendency to find people that are interested in training and exercises, and really had success there. If we had gaps, we were trying to look at other capability work groups that had individuals that we knew of that had exercise and training interest.
Thanks, John. I've looked at that. One of the challenges we're having is the robustness of that group, or lack thereof maybe in some instances, and their qualifications per se to do this type of exercise. Had you given any consideration, and this is one of the things that I've thrown my teams is basically using one team to help evaluate the other. And so what I have initially done for at least this go around is one of the DRMTs, that director, the deputy director, and probably the AD for ops, or maybe the AD for planning, will be the exercise evaluation team for another one. And so, and then we'll just kind of do a rotation pattern through all of the three teams. Had you ever given any thought to that?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I wish we would have in some senses. We had a lot of dialogue about whether to do 3 separate exercises or physically, or do 2 and just bring 2 DRMTs to 1 exercise. It would have logistically made life a lot easier using the method that you provided, especially because of overall fatigue in which the members of the capability work group find themselves. I think just coming off of some of the change management that we went through in the fall, a lot of the capability work group members are tired, and so it made it very difficult to go that deep. And fortunately, one of the evaluators is going to all 3 for us. The other, because there's 2 evaluators at the DRO per DRMT deployment, we have one guy that's willing to do all 3. So that was helpful. I wish that both had been consistent 3 hits.
The other question, John, I have with regards to what you just went through, with regards to regional exercise play and use of a regional exercise, kind of a management team, did you draw that regional exercise team from the region themselves? That's kind of the way we're leaning, is that the DRMT portion will be kind of crafted at a certain level. We'll then work with a regional lead to develop, basically objectives that the region may want to see for their particular play. Is that how you worked it out with a region?
Exactly. It worked out nicely. It was a little challenging because most of the people at the region that were willing to do that would also typically play or wanted to play. And so it did, it was difficult because our message originally was, well, if you're part of the regional exercise management group, you're going to know all the secrets, right? So you can't play. And we were a little bit flexible with that because they agreed that they wouldn't, spill all the beans. But to find 6 or 7 people in a region that are willing to put that much work in and then also not play, it's tough.
Thanks, John.
So, John, this is Charles. We're going to be exercising all three of our DRMT simultaneously for the National Mass Care Exercise. They'll all be in the same building, but they'll be, separated into different rooms, and we'll be looking for evaluators to evaluate each of the different teams. They'll be working off the same scenarios and index. We'll also be exercising regions as well. We'll be bringing in the regions from around Texas and some of the surrounding regions where sheltering component may need to be expanded because of capacity. So we're going to be looking at asking for quite a few evaluators to come in and sort the National Mass Care Exercises. As a matter of fact, while you were on the call, I just received an email about some of the taskings from the division and who we could have come in as evaluators on this, and then also looking at evaluators for the regions. So just stay tuned for more as we get this lined up and set out, because I think through your orientation piece here, we'll be looking for some of the evaluators to come in and support us.
That's excellent.
John, a quick question. How many exercises have you completed so far?
We're on our first under our belt. We have Idaho, Montana next Monday, and then following that second week, technically the first full week of April, 6th through the 9th, we'll conclude our third exercise with Western Missouri.
Did you have any trouble with locating observers or evaluate controllers and all of that to help? And how did you maintain uniformity among, if I don't have the same evaluator for all of them, then obviously there's going to be some subjectiveness between evaluators. Three different teams evaluating three different DRMTs. I know you try to maintain the same standards, but how do you ensure consistency across those three different evaluation levels?
Yeah, I think for us the secret recipe was having one gentleman that was available for all three. So he provided that level of consistency for the other two exercises where he'll be working with somebody newer. So that helped. At the district level and at the site, in particular the shelter site that we had functionalized in Iowa, for division district level play, the region had an extraordinary amount of success in reaching out to their state emergency management exercise division, as well as several of the nearby county emergency managers. And it was selfish in that not only did they do that for us at the regional level, but they know exercises, and byproduct of that is they got to see us play. And one of the larger counties in Iowa said, I wish that all of my counterparts in Iowa could see this, because I really had a great amount of respect earned for the Red Cross during the last 3 days, just being able to see how quickly you scale up and how you operate. And they were tickled to see a quasi-ICS based model. When we were talking IAP, their eyes just lit up.
That's great. That's cool. That's good news. I appreciate that. I hate to almost ask this question, but how's your burn rate on money?
So far on the exercises, we're doing good. The allocation for the exercise funds, we made a decision to go green on printing cost, which saved us about $4,500 amongst the three exercises. So instead of printing participants' guides, which we would typically do, and players' guides, we emailed everything out, and I learned this based off of our colleague Mike Burns' experience with the disaster institutes in the Pacific, is we use the 80-20 rule. 80% of the people will have a device where they can access it, 20% won't. For those 20%, we had laptop stations available with printers where they could print the material on site. But it dramatically helped us reduce our eco-print as well as, obviously, cost.
Great, thanks.
Any other thoughts before we close up, coming up on the hour? Just want to be cognizant of time for folks that may have another obligation to run to. All right. I want to thank everybody. This has been fun. Really appreciate Eric for the idea of getting this moved forward. Thanks to Tom and to Charles for being on to foot stomp some of our information that we're getting out. And what I'll do, Eric, is I'll send you and the DDEs a web link for this recording. And please feel free to share that with your evaluator teams. And then also, we did offer up, if we need to repeat this individually for one of your divisions, more than happy to do so live.
Thank you very much, John. That's super work. I appreciate all the stuff everyone's doing.
No problem. You guys have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.